What's up, guys? This is Mike Loris, going to be bringing you another game from the Nexon Invitational Super Match. I'm not sure what these games are supposed to really be, because I haven't really looked up anything about it, and I'm sure if I did, it would all be in Korean. But we're here for good Dota, and hopefully that's what we're going to see. At least interesting Dota, and I hope that's what we're going to see. It's going to be between Liquid and Underrated. They have already met before. The first game they have played is already on my channel, so make sure to check that out. Not sure what's going on with Chen's portrait. It seems to be a little bit glowing. But in that game, Liquid pretty much, how do I put this lightly, steamrolled Underrated. It was pretty brutal. They ran a pretty weird Visage Windrunner dual lane, and Windrunner ended up getting everything that she wanted to ever, which is always fun with the Windrunner. It's always fun to get a lot of items. Underrated, they've so far been struggling quite a bit versus these Western teams, and it is understandable. Dota has not really been, I mean, I'm sure it's been in Korea. It's not really been a big thing in Korea. I know League is super popular there. I know StarCraft, not as popular as League. League is definitely up top. But Dota really just starting to get into that, you know, esports, real esports status. So it is really good by Nexon to actually be doing this, because hooray for esports. And Dota was actually just recently released, like officially released in Dota, or the beta or something like that. What was it? I think it was officially released in Korea very recently. So yeah, they are a little bit far behind, in the, as far as tidiness of play, as far as strategies. Although it looks like Underrated strategies, although they are kind of flawed, they're not like terrible. They're not like eons behind. They're not Stone Age Dota. They're still playing like with decent strategies, just the mechanics, just what they decide to do, how much farm they get out of a lane, how much they benefit out of each lane that they're in, you know, skill shots, stuff like that. It's just not really up to par with what they really need if they want to beat someone like so powerful as Liquid. Like Liquid is one of the best teams in the world, and you're gonna need a pretty good performance if you actually want to beat them. And Underrated, as with the last game versus Fnatic, if you haven't watched that, then I'm sure you should probably go watch it right now. Then they would need a very, very large amount of good luck. They need very, very solid strategy and just good playstyle in order to win. And I think Underrated, the best way for them to actually pull out a win versus these two powerhouses of Liquid and Fnatic is to be aggressive from level 1. If they do that and actually gain a substantial lead, which is what they kind of did versus Fnatic in their first game, they got a Crystal Maiden, killing off the puck, ganking the middle lane very heavily, and then if they use that, then they could try to just get an advantage and just hold on to it. Because so far in all these games, they've been starting out even, and then an exchange happens, and then suddenly Liquid or Fnatic are ahead. And then Underrated take another exchange, and then Liquid and Fnatic are further ahead, and then the game just slips away from there. If Underrated go for something bold, go for some level 1 shenaniganry, go for a little bit heavy roaming from the Crystal Maiden, just like they did it versus Fnatic, I think that would be probably their best shot. That would probably be their best bet to get Liquid on tilt, which is like, you know, good luck getting Liquid on tilt, right? But I think if they do that, if they be super aggressive, if they go for something a little bit wonky, that would be their best chance. But let's go over these picks, because they have been picking while I've been blabbering on about pretty much nothing. Team Liquid going to first ban out that Lich, also fearing out that Batrider ban, and they're going to make sure that they don't play against that Queen of Pain as well as the Lifestealer. All just very powerful heroes, tend to focus onto the mid lane. Underrated going to continue their vendetta against Viper, Elder Titan, Timbersaw, as well as Pugna going to be covered. So really covering quite the gambit of those heroes. Mix of pushing heroes in the Pugna as well as the Elder Titan. General team fight, general lane annoyance, I would say, is really what Underrated are banning against. And Team Liquid, they're mostly trying to assure that their mid lane is going to be fairly safe. Last time run by TC absolutely demolished the underrated Shadow Fiend. They're going to pick up the Luna one more time along with Rubik, Chen, as well as the Bounty Hunter. With that Chen, it opens the door for a little bit of pushing. Luna is not the worst pushing hero in the game, although there are better, I would say. Rubik kind of the same way. Bounty Hunter, I'm not really sure what Liquid want to do with this Bounty Hunter as far as 0.79 is concerned, because, you know, dual lanes are kind of all the rage, although Bounty Hunter is still more than capable of surviving on his own, and the track gold will continue to pile up. So Liquid, they're looking to do the strategy that I recommended for Underrated. Just get aggression starting early on. I mean, level 6 on the Bounty Hunter isn't exactly early on, but try to get a lead and then try to hold on to it, try to snowball from there. Bounty Hunter, to kind of secure that with the roaming from Chen as well as the pushing from Chen, and then of course the late game security from Luna. That will be it's looking to be a pretty solid lineup for Team Liquid. They do still need their mid lane hero if they do not want to run TC on that mid lane again as that Luna, but of course it could be possible. And right now I think they just need someone to kind of keep pace of the game, do a little bit of right click damage, and we'll see what Underrated want to ban out. I think probably banning out the Windrunner is a good idea again. Windrunner was really effective against them last time, and hell, there are so many options available for Team Liquid. They can even run like a gyrocopter. Like Rubik gyrocopter is a really solid combo. Put Luna in the mid lane again. Underrated still don't have a real great mid lane hero. Clockwork is definitely functional. That's actually pretty damn good against Luna. They can definitely decide to run that. Picking up the Mirana, Crystal Maiden, as well as the Visage. That is a lot of stun duration on the Underrated side. It's going to use the Frostbite, use the Arrow. It's going to be a Brewmaster ban. That's interesting. Would have been pretty good for Liquid, actually. But they're going to go for the Alchemist. So it is not going to be the Gyrocopter. A similar hero in his farm potential, and it's going to be a Clinks to cap off the Underrated lineup. So S4L on that Clinks is going to be the late game security for Underrated, but really the power of Underrated's team lies in the mid game. That's when the Mirana's combo is going to be up. Level 4 on the Arrow, level 4 on the Starstorm. That's when Migun on the Clockwork is going to be able to initiate on Team Liquid before the BKBs get up. That's when S4L with the maxed out Searing Arrow, as well as hopefully by that point an Orchid, will be able to just pick off Chen, pick off Rubik, do that kind of thing. And of course the supports should have a good amount of levels as well. That's when Underrated is really at their most powerful. Come late game, Clinks is not really going to outcarry an Alchemist. He can't really farm fast enough compared to Alchemist. I mean, no one really can. But when it comes to a man fight, Alchemist will just get a basher, and then Clinks is pretty much screwed. He's forced to keep his distance, which is, it's actually pretty good what Underrated have done. They've gotten a team that makes a lot of distance with the Arrow, with the hookshot, with the cogs most importantly, and with the familiar stuns. But late game, it's definitely going to be Liquid's game to lose if this game drags on. With the Luna as well as the Alchemist both to carry this game, it's going to be very difficult for Underrated to take this if this game really lasts for a long time. Let's go over who's playing what on Liquid. We have Koikva on that Bounty Hunter, heading towards the top lane for now. Way too sexy, or just way too, I guess. Going to be that Chen. Fluff and Stuff is going to be on the Rubik yet again. TC, this time not heading towards mid, going to instead head towards the bot lane along with the other two supports. So it's going to be an aggressive tri-lane from Liquid. And we have on the mid lane Bulba on the Alchemist. Might be seeing a aggressive ganking Alchemist. Get a little bit of pacing on the board, possibly. On the Underrated side, we have Migun on the Clockwork. Visage is going to be played by Choya. Sunbi is going to be supporting as the Crystal Maiden. Suni is on the Mirana, and that leaves S4L on the Clinks, looking to do the bottom lane by himself. Good luck, man. Good luck. I mean, Clinks is usually that hero that you could put on that lane, then you would say, well, if it's up against one hero, Clinks is probably going to win. And 9 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, Clinks will win that lane if it's a 1v1. That's just thank you in Korean, so I guess Bulba is thanking them for Febi is Chobo. I don't know who Febi is, but that some mad smack talk coming out of Bulba. Let me tell you, I'm no Korean expert, but that is definitely some real smack. And it's going to be tri-lane versus tri-lane. Both heroes are capable of surviving. Bounty Hunter is definitely comparable to Clinks as far as survivability goes. The thing is, Bounty Hunter can make do with nothing. If he gets to level 6, he helps the team through track. If the Clink gets to level 6, what happens? He has a couple points in Searing Arrows, so he could, I guess, push. Death Pact isn't really a high impact spell. It doesn't benefit his team. Really, nothing that Clinks has benefits the team. So Clinks is a hero that, even if he will be able to get levels, he really needs farm. He needs to be able to get that Orchid. He needs to get some way of dealing damage early on so he could go around and start assassinating people. Bounty Hunter, he's completely okay with not assassinating people. I'm sure Koikko has played his share of Bounty Hunter games in which he was not able to 100-0 someone. That would probably be most of the pro games, or if not all the pro games that he has been in that involved him on the Bounty Hunter. It's really all about that track. So just the way the lanes are shaping up already from Liquid, I gotta say there's going to be an advantage for them. And unfortunately for Underrated, yeah, that's not really what you want to see. Mid lane, I think it is going to be Suni on the Mirana versus Alchemist, and in that lineup, I will give it to the Mirana, at least for a couple levels. Last hitting on Mirana is always hell because base damage is fairly low. Attack animation sucks. But once the skill points come up, it will be a little bit easier for her to combo and actually kill the Alchemist if she gets support from the likes of Sunbi as well as Migun. Not Migun, Choya, I'm sorry. Though Alchemist with the Acid Spray is definitely going to do his part to try to keep Mirana back. And Mirana, as Mirana's a very fragile hero, so Acid Spray damage is definitely going to be something that will zone her out very, very heavily and really get Bulba a lot of control over that lane. I'm just going to skip through that pause real quickly. Also, something noteworthy to mention, Wei2 on the Chen looking to do some aggressive jungling with an early smoke. So in that mid lane, Mirana, she will have the leap, so she will be able to survive, or hopefully survive, any sort of early ganks, though. If the smoke happens with the Chen and the Rubik, and if Wei2, fortunately for him, finds a Centaur, then Mirana leap probably not going to do much, because Unstable Concoction, Telekinesis, Centaur Stomp, plus right clicks, that's going to be enough to do it. So we'll see how these lanes actually shape up. Migun going to be along with Choya. Choya's going to be along for the ride. Koikva should have an easy time. He might even get a little bit of farm in this lane. Choya not really being super aggressive versus Koikva. Do they have sentries? They don't have sentries. That is not good for this top lane. That means they can't really apply back. God damn it, guys. We're going back. We're going back. Who could have seen that one coming? I don't know. I wasn't expecting that to happen, but you know, S4L, no one saw that coming. S4L, yeah, just Sentry Ward gets dropped. He even went searing arrows for level 1. I don't think Skeleton Walk really would have helped him, but my God, missing first blood. That's a great way to make a, I'm casting this tournament, guys. Watch me miss first blood, right? But Fluff and Stuff does secure that, and and Wei2 has found his Centaur. Is he going to take it? He has a couple seconds before he actually needs to take another creep, and we have another pause. But as I was saying, no sentries on this top lane really going to hurt Underrated because they can't actually pressure Koikva. I mean, they could put the Visage right here and then try to poke at him, but easy Shadow Walk, and then he's always absorbing experience. He's going to hit that level 6 mark relatively quickly, especially compared to the Clinks, who is clearly not having as good of a time as Koikva, who actually does have a little bit of experience. Taking another look at this mid lane, Sunni sitting in the Acid, forced to sit in there if he wants to actually get any gold, and Bulba is probably going to go for a very aggressive Acid Spray, Unstable Concoction, max out both kind of build, and he will expect rotation from Fluff and Stuff as well as Wei2. They're going to first clear off a couple camps. With Chen would like his nuke before he actually leaves the jungle, and leaving the jungle with just one creep isn't the best. Fluff and Stuff going to be spotted by a ward, very defensive from Underrated. As far as their mid lane is concerned, this ward, they will see any rotation coming in from anyone in their own jungle. And that actually might end up saving their lives. At least the life of Sunni, because Crystal Maiden is still very soft. Let's see what Wei2 wants to do with these creeps. He wants to kill off his Wild Wing, and then I think he does want to take the Centaur. I think he probably wants to go for S4L, might transition into a push. TC does have 1 point in that aura, that's a lot of damage, and S4L, I mean, he's close to his tower. Putting the sentry down there is a little bit risky. But yeah, here comes Wei2, and he has a Centaur in tow. Fluff and Stuff, if he gets the telekinesis onto S4L, that's pretty much lights out for him. Centaur coming around, S4L going to take a Lucent Beam. There's the vision, still onto S4L. The Stomp, that Stomp actually went off. I did not see that. Stomp was there, and easy kill onto the Clinks. I did not see him Stomp. Telekinesis, maybe it was when he was Telekinesis, I don't know. My bad. Choya, as well as Sunbi, looking to turn this around in this lane, though. They will have to worry about a Centaur. Wei2, though, very low on HP. Sunbi going to run straight forward into Fluff and Stuff. He actually has his eyes onto Wei2. He's going to get punished severely for that, already dropping down to half HP. TC going to kill Sunbi onto Sunbi. Can get lifted up into the air as well. Here comes S4L, but only 2 points in that serving out. Can't really contribute that much to this fight. Choya on the run. Fluff and Stuff with the right clicks and a Fade Bolt. Going to get himself a double kill. TC, does he have enough mana? He does not have enough mana. S4L should be able to survive this, but support's coming in for Underrated, just throwing themselves into the meat grinder. The Crystal Maiden so very focused on the fact that Wei2 was low on HP, didn't even see the fact that he was running headlong into a Rubik, and that's definitely not what you want to have happen, because, I mean, he got the Frost Nova onto the Chen, that's fantastic and everything, but at what cost? He ended up dropping to half HP before anything actually happened. Now in the bot lane again, S4 going to get telekinesis, the right click damage will be enough. 6 HP is the survival amount on this Clinks, who, unfortunately for him, will be forced to go back to the base. Clink's really struggling with this, and what do you know? It's because there are sentry wards in this lane. Still no sentry wards, I don't believe, unless Sunbi. No, he does Dust, which is a pretty good tool if they actually could kill Koikva. But he has Boots, and Migun he doesn't have enough mana for a battery assault. So good luck actually catching up and locking him down with that. We'll see if they can get anything done. Soonbi is smoked up, and Migun, if he gets him in the cogs, that might happen, especially with these centaurs. Here we go. This is the chance right now. There's the dust. Koikova going to take a Nova straight to the face. Migun going to run forward for the cogs. This is going to be a kill for Underrated. Clockwork going to be the one to get that one. So Underrated getting a much needed kill on this top lane, though it's really not going to help them all too much. Clockwork, it'll only help them not much if Clockwork is unsuccessful, because Clockwork is well on his way to his level 6 mark. He'll get that incredibly quickly, and then at that point it's just a matter of, can Clockwork be effective with his hookshot gangs? If yes, then Underrated, they're 3 kills down, but that'll be nothing if they could get a couple ganks off into the Liquid side. If not, however, then it will pretty much all be for naught, because Liquid have been getting a lot of kills, a lot of gold, or only support gold, onto TC, but TC has been getting a lot of farm, whereas Clockwork, he's been getting a good amount of farm as well, but Clockwork with farm, definitely not as scary as a Luna with farm. And now, looks like Liquid, they're gearing up to go yet again. Their sentry wards have timed out, however. They don't see Choi, I believe. They probably do with this Lunar Blessing vision from Luna, though. Or the Night Vision from Luna, rather. And Puffenstuff is going in. Are there sentries? There are no sentries, but looks like they're going to stun Choi regardless. Is the teleportation support coming from him for the Crystal Maiden? They're going to force everyone back. Puffenstuff taking a lot of damage from the Soul Shaman. He's going to go down, actually. Visage from long range securing that kill. Way too. Taking some damage on the way out as well. Really great teleportation support coming in from Soonbi with that long range slow, making it so that Liquid getting punished for their aggression. And, well, if Underrated keep performing like that, then that's exactly what they need. Just use S4L as bait, because Liquid know that they could get a kill onto S4L. They definitely know that fact. But if you punish them for it, that'll be fantastic for Underrated to get a couple kills in. Most importantly, get a little bit of gold, get a little bit of experience onto this Klinx, who really isn't getting much out of this lane. Looking back at this mid lane, Bulba is doing pretty well against the Mirana, though it's actually quite an even lane. I would actually think at this point, Sunni, despite the fact that he hasn't had any support rotation, would be a little bit further ahead of the Alchemist, though that Acid Spray really being annoying, zoning out Mirana very harshly. And again, shot into the bottom lane. TC does not have an Eclipse. Migun is going to secure this kill for his team, exactly what I was talking about, using the hook shots onto those high priority targets and Underrated. Get a kill. Sunni, though, still farming up in the middle lane. I thought something was happening. But yeah, the Klinx getting yet another assist, and Clockwork, if he could do that every single time his hookshot's up, then this game is definitely not out of Underrated's grasp. They will have to also rely onto this Mirana to actually leave the lane and get some aggression, or have some supports rotate and try to kill off Bulba, because Bulba's been managing the runes. He's been spamming that Acid Spray, really making life difficult for Sunni. You can see just sitting in the acid, trying to get last hits, and he's dropping down very low. So 3-4 is the score thus far in the game. Klinx getting his levels, even starting to get a little bit of farm. But is it enough farm? Is it a farm comparable to what the Bounty Hunter has, who is now level 6? So Koikva is going to be on the hunt, has 2 points in the Shuriken, 2 points in the Janata, and they're looking to go for Sunni. It probably won't happen though, because Sentry Wards are up, so Koikva is completely spotted. They can even turn this one around. Frostbite into Arrow. That's a death of Koikva, maybe? Oh, Sunbi. I think the gig is up, yeah. Koikva definitely knows that there's something revealing him in this middle lane, so he's just going to pass on that, go towards the bottom lane, where Choya is looking like a mighty delicious target. Puffenstuff does have level 5, a lot of mana as well, but instead they're going to settle for S4L. He's rushing a hand to Midas, mighty bold of him. This is a very bad time to die if you are this Klinx, but fortunately for him, Koikva went the wrong way. S4L just needs a little bit more gold to complete this item. If he gets this, then he will have the hand of Midas, but the jaws are closing in. S4L, he's running out of time to actually buy this item, because here comes the Bounty Hunter. If he loses it, come on, buy the item, man. There we go. So he's going to get the item, but no, he bought it in the wrong place. There, buy it. No, S4L, buy it. There we go. He got the hand of Midas. Koikva was going to reveal his position, but oh god, that was tense, man. That was really freaking tense. Like, he messed up shopping. He's a little bit too far away from the shop, ended up buying it at the base, but he got his hand of Midas. He did. And with that, with Death Pact, he could pretty much clear some of the camps instantly. Get him, try to get back into this game. A very Nature's Prophet-esque hand of Midas, who usually takes an early hit and then uses hand of Midas to get back into the game. Klinx is kind of bold in going for this, seeing as though he's really hurting for the farm, and spending so much money on an item that will help him farm means that he will continue to be a low impact hero for a good 5 to 10 minutes into this game. But hey, if they do actually make it through that stage, then they will be pretty powerful. That will help Klinx ramp into an Orchid. Bulba with that acid spray, just constantly pushing this Mirana back into her tower. And then the result of that is Bulba getting pretty much every single rune. Underrated. There's actually no one on the bottom lane. They're roaming around heavily with his Clinks. I think staying on the bot lane would be the best option. Because really, what can the Clinks do? He doesn't have that much mana. He has 9 shots with the Searing Arrows, and that's pretty much it. He needs to be farming right now with his Clinks instead going around trying to look for a kill. And a kill might happen on his top lane. Underrated looking for a hookshot angle, but surprise, surprise, Sunbi. It's a trap. Sunbi, you don't want to be standing there, hookshot in, and Sunbi is going to try to help out. TC's going to drop the Eclipse. Migun going to get absolutely demolished. It looks like, no, he will survive enough to kill the Luna, but at what cost? Migun going to try to go invisible with a rune with Mirana ultimate. Not going to be enough, though. It's 2 kills in favor. It's 1 kill in favor of Liquid, but keep in mind that was also probably a track kill. I want to say that was at least one was a track kill. And with that, they have Chen with 2 centaurs up on this top lane, and they have a level 3 acid spray. They have a buckler. This tower is going to go down. Choi can try to get the aggro, but if he gets a little bit too close, Bulba's going to charge him with Unstable Concoction as well as Phase Boots and just mess up that Visage's face. S4 on this bottom lane is going to try to get a little bit of damage done in this tower of his own, but it's definitely going to pale in comparison to the pushing power of Liquid. Not the harshest push in the game, but it's definitely more than enough. TC taking his 2nd death of the game, does have 6 assists. If he had those kills, he'd be looking to be in a much better position. But regardless, here we go. Defense of the tower. Migun does not have his hookshot, looking for a deny, but he's got to watch out. He's going to get telekinesis. First Centaur stun, as well as the Alchemist stun. 2nd Centaur stun is there as well. Migun is not going to get the tower deny, actually destroyed by Chen. Migun going to get sniped off by the Shurikens. 3 down in an instant. 4 underrated. Trying way too hard to deny that tower. I mean, taking a 3v4 fight is, right off the bat, not a good idea. Taking a 3v4 fight when you are behind is an even worse idea. Without a hookshot, the bad ideas just start continuing to pile up. When you have a level disadvantage, it's not a good idea. It's just not a good idea, and that's exactly what I was talking about in the draft stage, where Underrated kind of make these decisions where you kind of it just forces you to scratch your head. Just like, wait, are they trying to defend this tower? And the answer is yes, they are. Were they successful? The answer is not even close to successful. They didn't get the tower denial. They didn't get any kills out of that. In fact, they lost 3 heroes. So, again, not to sound like a broken record or anything, but Underrated are they're in a little bit of trouble. Because the score is 4-9, but the track gold is starting to stack up. Koikfa getting 3 of those so far, I would say. The experience is slowly going to dip down, as is the gold. And Liquid, keep in mind, have the superior late game with the Luna, with the Alchemist. Kling's trying to get as much farm as he can, but the longer this goes, Liquid is going to get more of it and more of an advantage unless Underrated pull off a miracle team fight. And against an Eclipse, it's still possible, but they need Klinks to actually contribute to something. And he's still farming up these camps, but he has power treads, which is good. I mean, Klinks is starting to get those items up, but he needs more. If you have a solo lane Klinks, you kind of expect, oh, here we go, way too. Gonna get cogged in. Migun is gonna get invisible as well. Arrow gonna fly through, way too. Gonna drop. Now Koikfa can take a couple of shots as well. Enough gonna get in to the telekinesis onto S4, Eclipse onto everyone. There's no creeps to mitigate this damage. Choi gonna drop very low, but the invisibility is there. Track though, gonna reveal that back. Now Migun gonna get cogged with Koikfa. Probably a bad idea. It will cost him his life. Arrow gonna fly, will miss. And Liquid, they lose way too, but Underrated, sticking around for way too long. Once they got that Chen kill, they should have been happy with that. They should have just booked it. Because they used the hookshot. They used the ultimate from Mirana, but they got greedy, they stood around for a little bit too long, and Liquid came in with an Eclipse from TC. With all the damage that they had, the Chen creeps were still alive as well. It made it very difficult for Underrated to actually get anything done because they were kind of lacking on stuns. Also, Maiden was on the fringes of that fight. Mirana already used her arrow that ultimately hit a Chen creep. But they had really no way of combating Liquid, who, once the Chen died, they hadn't spent anything, and that's what you want to do. You want to catch them once, and then back off, because you spent stuff and they did not. So at the moment, they're going to be more powerful than you, because even though it's a 4v5, their team fight is very, very crushing, to say the least. Choi going to try to hold this bottom lane tower. Bulba, as well as Wei 2, was a pretty big army himself. Going to get scouted out by a rocket flare, as well as the familiars. They're in position, but Liquid, they're rotating many heroes down to this bottom lane, so we're going to see another fight relatively shortly. Soul Assumption stolen by Rubik. Actually a huge spell to steal, but he's going the wrong way, so he's not going to be involved in this fight. The Chen creeps by themselves, forming a pretty sizable wall. TC's got to watch out, though. He has the Aegis. He does have 2 points of movement as well. Migun going to get hit with Elusive Beam, dropping pretty low. And TC getting a little bit of aggro. Here we go. We have Bulba running in. Who does he want to go for? He wants to go for Migun. There's the Unstable Concoction. Huge damage. Koifa with the Shuriken. Going to seal the deal for the Alchemist. Is there going to be anything else? Looks like there is not. In the meantime, Klings has destroyed a top lane tower. Rubik looking to possibly mess with him a little bit, though he doesn't have any true sight. There's nothing really much he can do. This tower is definitely going to go down, and Sunbi is just going to cower in terror of this push. Arrow just stopping short of TC. Wouldn't have killed him, wouldn't have really set up anything at all. But yeah, Liquid going to get that tower killed. It's going to be ultimately a 1-for-1 trade, though Liquid, of course, get that clockwork kill on top of the tower. And now we might be seeing a little bit of a skirmish. They don't see each other. 2 invisible heroes walk by each other, and one is probably going to get capped. S4L tracked up. Where's the Shuriken? There is a Shuriken. Koikfa is going to get a solo kill onto S4L. Unless Fluff and Stuff comes by and just fade bolts him. My god, Fluff and Stuff, you worked so hard to get that kill. Speaking of kills, Sunbi is in a lot of trouble in this bottom lane. Here comes Bulba with the Unstable Concoctions being shaken. Oh my god, Crystal Maiden. Where was she there? I think there was a hero there. I think there was. I don't know. My eyes might be deceiving me. Speaking of heroes not being there anymore, Koikfa with the haste rune, trying to chase down Sunni. He has used a Shuriken already, so he will be unable to secure that kill, but it will buy this buy Fluff and Stuff enough space with the Way 2 rotating in order to... Wow, really, Koikfa? Really? Okay. Okay, back off, man. Calm down. We will buy the Liquid side enough space to get this tier 1 tower. Big items are coming up from Liquid. Mech is up, as you can see in here. The Armlet is up on the Alchemist, which is now pretty much the staple, seeing as though Chemical Rage no longer gives you raw HP. Koikva with the track gold stacking up, has drums, has fade boots, with an extra 1400 gold in the bank. Rubik is heading towards his Force Staff, and TC still rushing his BKB. There it is, right there. Meanwhile, on the underrated side, we have really nothing. There's no drum yet up on Mirana. The biggest item they have is an Oblivion Staff on Klinks. That's not going to be enough. And Liquid, they know that they have the momentum in this game. I mean, hell, they're 10 kills ahead. If you don't have momentum at that point, what are you doing? They're going to just poke and prod a little bit, but they're without their biggest source of damage, which is probably the Eclipse from TC. So they're just going to play it slow. Again, they have the late game advantage, and if they constantly find these picks, being spearheaded by Koikfa, then the track gold is going to start to pile up, and underrated, they're going to need to farm a lot more than they're farming right now, because as we can see from the gold per minute chart, as well as the EXP per minute chart, Liquid are just dominating that everything pretty much. Oh, Sunni. No, Koikfa. He wants easier meat. It might be Migun. There it is. There's the track, and he's going to just run away. Unless Bulba from across the trees, can he throw it that far? He cannot. He's going to end up popping himself, but that's okay. He will have enough HP regen to survive this, I think. It looks like he's fine. And everyone from Liquid now on this bottom lane. They're going to try to take down this tower, and they're slowly working it down. Familiar's going to come in for a double stomp. Koikfa on the front, once again, throwing out those tracks. Migun and Choi are both tracked up. Dyer's Korra even dying. I don't know how. Fluff and Stuff going to jump himself forward. He can get telekinesis onto Migun. Going to try to hook shot out. He will be successful in doing so. Disjoint the Alchemist stun in the meantime as well. No, he didn't. He can't disjoint it with hook shot. What am I talking about? He will get stunned, although the friggin' animation disappeared. Tower goes down in Clockwork, having to heal. This is going to open up a little bit of time for Liquid to push in. They will at least force a fight, and that's a fight that they're very okay with actually forcing. Aegis is going to be reclaimed soon. S4L going to get hit very hard. Is there vision? Though there's not. Liquid Bulba, though, going to throw out his stun. There's the Eclipse as well, but instantly canceled because of the death of Luna. That's a wasted Eclipse. Migun going to trap himself in with Bulba against the tower. That's not where we want to be, bro. Arrow's going to fly through, hit TC as well. There's a lot of damage, enough to kill TC. It should be enough to kill TC for a second time. They do have enough. TC dead for a second time, but S4L is on the run. Unstable Concoction will seal a deal on him. Choi as well as Sunni, both on the run. Soul Assumption as well as the Fade Bolt will secure both kills for the Liquid side. S4L is going to buy back, but to what end? He really doesn't have anything else. Mirana's going to buy back as well. With two of them, they might be able to get a pick off. But still, Bulba's topped out on mana. Koikfa is doing pretty good himself. And this tower, fortunately for underrated, There's no more creep support. All Chen's creeps ended up dying in that engagement. And it looks like everyone from Liquid, is, with the exception of TC, who so far has been receiving not much love from the underrated side, is going to go down. I think it's about time for... Oh, Fluffenstuff can get assassinated by the Clinks. He doesn't have a Force Staff. He's going to get Telekinesis off, though. And Clink's unable to seal the deal on that one, too. That's the lack of Clink's farm really coming to hurt him. I mean, if he had an Orchid, that would have been a very, very dead Rubik. That might have been... Or it definitely would have been at least damage on the Chen as well. But unfortunately, just not enough. Just not enough damage on this Clinks. When you can't assassinate a Rubik like that, then you're really struggling. And I think the score kind of says enough. But let's look at some more interesting things, like who's kill stealing the most, Fluff? I don't know. Maybe I might be reading this wrong, but 6111. Fluffenstuff has been involved in many, many kills. It looks like he's going to be involved in one more. Nope, he's not. Bottom lane, completely carved out of the towers, and wow, Rubik can teleport back to the base. That was kind of interesting. Oh, he has no courier. That's why he's doing that. All right, but bottom lane completely devoid of the Radiant towers for now, at least outside of the base. Top lane and middle lane towers. I feel like Liquid are just waiting for Way 2 to get a couple more creeps going. Unfortunately for him, mud golems everywhere. In the meantime, Bounty Hunter just, kind of doing his own thing. He's going to get a track off onto Migun and then peace on out of there. Migun, not aware of it. He's going to hookshot in. He's going to catch TC. With the help of S4L, they will bring down Luna. Once again, he's pushing a little bit far away from the rest of his team. Generally, you don't see this from TC. A very, very safe, careful carry player. Not one to get caught off a lot, at least without complete confidence. Koikva eating an arrow to the face. It is all a trap, though, because Suni's going to get blown up. Did not expect that one to happen. I mean, Rana threw the arrow, instantly stunned, nothing. I mean, that surprised me. I would have been surprised. Meantime, here comes Bulba. He does have a stun shaking up. Who's he going to throw it on? It's going to be on Sunbi. He does have the armlet, as well as Sanchi's very, very tanky. 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hit with a shuriken toss. Cap it off. Koikva's going to get himself some more track gold. Top tower is under attack, and Way 2 only has 1 creep, but this tower, Bulba's just eating tower shots for breakfast, and now with the creep support, they're going to at least force out the fortification. It is 4-5, it's 4-3 so far, heroes that could fight in this. S4L going to eat the creep and try to get out of there. There's no more True Sight, actually, from Liquid. Looks like they are going to slip away from, the Clinks is going to slip away from this unharmed. However, the same fate cannot be said about that top tier 2 tower, and unfortunately, this mid-tier 2 tower, after hearing stories about how his tower brethren have been taken down, is now scared shitless, and as well he should be. This tower is not long for life. Fluffenstuff can move forward, get telekinesis off. Bulba's going to throw the stun. Migun taking a huge amount of damage. He will be burst down. The invisibility will not help Bulba, though. Getting frostbitten within the tower, as well as a freezing field from Sunbi. Bulba, though, completely fearless. Going to get sent back to the base, although I don't even know if that was necessary. It's 2 down as Bulba just man modes 100%. Right in the tier 3 tower. Tier 2? What tier 2? I don't see a tier 2. Fluffenstuff going to get a 4-staff forward telekinesis onto S4L. It will not pull him back over. Koikva going to eat an arrow to the face. They will secure a familiar, though. And here comes Suni. I don't know what you really want to get accomplished with this, Suni. It will not be enough to kill him off. But, oh, Bulba. Man Mode Part 2, Revenge of the Man. And Choya has already seen that movie, and he doesn't like it. Bulba's unstoppable. There you see S4L. He's tracked up, and wow, Way 2 with the big nukes, big right clicks. This looks like it's going to be the end, because Bulba is pretty damn stacked, going for a very middle-of-the-road, mid-game oriented build, and you could certainly see it working. Sunbi, gotta run, man. Migun's going to try to protect him. TC's there with the Eclipse. That is probably overkill on the Clockwork. He's going to move down south a little bit more. And, yeah, when this is happening and you can't kill him, you know the game's not going too well. Because sometimes you just got to get a Ghost Scepter on Alchemist, because why not? TC going to start finishing this game, though. Way 2 is going to get hit by now, but Sony is as well. A little bit of his own medicine. He's going to get telekinesis up into there. He will be brought down to track movement speed onto Choya. Oh my god, the damage. Koikva got a Desolator. This just in. That's going to be enough to seal the deal in this game. H29 and underrated. Get demolished yet again. Man, they're just outclassed. There's really no other way to put it. They're just getting crushed at every turn. It's really difficult to watch. It's really difficult to watch, like Liquid and Fnatic just going over there and just stomping everyone. I don't really know who these underrated guys are. I'm assuming they're really good because it's an invitational thing, but they pale in comparison. They certainly do. Anyway, guys, we're going to be moving on to the last game that was played today. It is going to be between Liquid and Fnatic. I'm sure that's the reason why you're all here. But, yeah, we're going to get onto that shortly. So thanks for watching. Any comments and criticism is always appreciated, so let me know what you thought of this cast. And other than that, I hope you guys have a good day. GG.